Hello and welcome to my video giving you an overview of the Bhagavad Gita with my own bit of research added in. I hope you enjoy and that it is helpful to you. In the following image you can see two armies ready to fight each other. These are the armies from the Mahabharata, and don't worry, I will explain who they are later in the video. What I really want to look at is the subtitle on this image, The Song of God. When we translate Bhagavad Gita from Indian, it is translated as the word God. Likewise for the Gita, when translated, it means song. Therefore, when we translate it into English, we call it the Song of God because that is how we are used to seeing things phrased. Krishna is very important to the Bhagavad Gita because it is mostly through him in the Bhagavad Gita that we learn about spiritual discipline, the discipline of action, and we in our reading will end with the idea of Krishna as the Supreme Being. Krishna is the main star of the Bhagavad Gita because it is he who creates the idea of the Gita being a text that is teaching the audience what it means to practice Hinduism. In the Gita, Krishna portrays the role of being a charioteer, but in reality he is loosely believed to be God. The Bhagavad Gita involves two families who are both fighting for the same crown. On one hand you have the Pandavas, the family that Arjuna the main character is from, and the Kauravas. The Kauravas are the cousins of the Pandavas. The Kauravas are born to King Dhritarashtra, while the Pandavas are born to his brother Pandu. The rivalry between both sets of brothers eventually leads to the Kurukshetra War. In the Gita, the five brothers born to Pandu and his two wives Kunti and Madra are the Pandavas that we are familiar with. The three eldest sons of Pandu were born to Kunti, with the younger twins being born to Madri. Pandu had a curse placed upon him that prevented him from sleeping with a woman, so his children were all born because his first wife, Kunti, had a special grant that allowed her to call upon the gods if she should have need. It is in this way that the Pandavas' brothers were born. The brothers were born to the following gods. Yudhishthira was the son of Dharma, the god of righteousness, Bhima, the son of Vayu, the wind god, Arjuna, the son of Indra, the sky god, and Nakula and Sahadevi, the sons of the Ashwini gods, the sunrise and sunset gods. The Kauravas are the sons of Dhritarashtra and Gandhari. Dhritarashtra was born blind, and upon marrying him, Gandhari blindfolds herself in order to understand how her husband understands the world around him. Together they have 100 sons who form the basis of the army that fights the Pandavas during the Kurukshetra War. At the start of the Gita, Dhritarashtra and his advisor Sanjaya are recounting the events of the war. Up until the war, the Kauravas were the family that were in charge of the kingdom Hastinapura. As Arjuna stares across at the battlefield dejected, recognizing his family, his friends, and his tutors, he begins to question why they are having this war. He begins to question himself, and he begins to question utmost his own beliefs. It is in this time that Krishna turns to him and offers him wise words of wisdom that the Gita expouts.
Indestructible is the presence that pervades all this. No one can destroy this unchanging reality. Our bodies are known to end, but the embodied self is enduring, indestructible, and immeasurable. Therefore, Arjuna, fight the battle. Arjuna, when a man knows the self to be indestructible, enduring, unborn, unchanging, how does he kill or cause anyone to kill? As a man discards worn-out clothes to put on new and different ones, so the embodied self discards its worn-out bodies to take on new, other ones. Weapons do not cut it, fire does not burn it, waters do not wet it, wind does not wither it. It cannot be cut or burned, it cannot be wet or withered. It is enduring, all-pervasive, fixed, immovable, and timeless. It is called unmanifest, inconceivable, and immutable. Since you know that to be so, you should not grieve. Death is certain for anyone born, and birth is certain for the dead. Since the cycle is inevitable, you have no cause to grieve. Look at your own duty. Do not tremble before it. Nothing is better for a warrior than a battle of sacred duty. Oh, that's it. If you think understanding is more powerful than action, why, Krishna, do you urge me to this horrific act? You confuse my understanding with a maze of words. Speak one certain truth so I may achieve what is good. Krishna, what makes a person commit evil against his own will as if compelled by force? Earlier, I taught the twofold basis of good in this world for philosophers, discipline and knowledge. For men of discipline, action. A man cannot escape the force of action by abstaining from actions. He does not attain success, just reunification. Perform necessary action. It is more powerful than inaction. Without action, you even fail to sustain your own body. Action imprisons the world unless it is done as sacrifice, freed from attachment, Arjuna. Perform action as sacrifice. Action comes from the spirit of prayer, whose source is Om, the sound of the imperishable, so the pervading infinite spirit is ever present in rites of sacrifice. He who fails to keep turning the wheel here set in motion wastes his life in sin, addicted to the senses, Arjuna. It is desire and anger arising from nature's quality of passion. Know it here is the enemy, voracious and very evil. Knowledge is obscured by the wise man's eternal enemy, which takes form as desire, an insatiable fire, Arjuna. The senses, mind, and understanding are said to harbor desire, with these desires obscuring knowledge and confounding the embodied self. Men say that the senses are superior to their objects, the mind superior to the senses, understanding superior to the mind, higher than understanding is the self. Knowing the self beyond understanding, sustain the self with the self. Great warrior, kill the enemy menacing you in the form of desire. Man of discipline should always discipline himself, remain in seclusion, isolated, his thought and self-will controlled, without possessions or hope. He should fix for himself a firm seat in a pure place, neither too high nor too low, covered in cloth, deerskin, or grass. He should focus his mind and restrain the activity of his thought and senses sitting on that seat. He should practice discipline for the purification of the self. The self tranquil, his fear dispelled, firm in his vow of celibacy, his mind restrained, let him sit with discipline, his thought fixed on me, intent on me. Disciplining himself, his mind controlled, a man of discipline finds peace, the pure calm that exists in me. When his controlled thought rests within the self alone, without craving objects of desire, he is said to be disciplined. He should entirely relinquish desires aroused by willful intent. He should entirely control his senses with his mind. He should gradually become tranquil, firmly controlling his understanding, focusing his mind on the self. He should think nothing. Constantly disciplining himself, free from sin, the man of discipline easily achieves perfect joy in harmony with the infinite spirit. Arming himself with discipline, seeing everything with an equal eye, he sees the self in all creatures, and all creatures in the self. When he sees identity in everything, whether joy or suffering, through analogy with the self, he is deemed a man of pure discipline. Just as you have described yourself, I wish to see your form in all its majesty, Krishna, supreme among men. If you think I can see it, reveal to me your immutable self, Krishna, Lord of Discipline. Arjuna, see my forms in hundreds and thousands, diverse, divine, of many colors and shapes. See the sun gods, gods of light, howling storm gods, twin gods of dawn and gods of wind, Arjuna, wondrous forms not seen before. Arjuna, see all the universe, animate and inanimate, and whatever else you wish to see, all stands here as one in my body. But you cannot see me with your own eyes. I will give you a divine eye to see the majesty of my discipline. I bow to you. I prostrate my body. I beg you to be gracious, worshipful Lord, as a father to a son, a friend to a friend, a lover to a beloved. O God, bear with me. I am thrilled, yet my mind trembles with fear at seeing what has not been seen before. Show me, God, the form I know to be gracious, Lord of gods, shelter of the world. Grace you, Arjuna, I revealed through self-discipline my higher form, which no one but you has ever beheld, brilliant, total, boundless, primal. Not through sacred lore, penances, charity, or sacrificial rites can I be seen in the form that you saw me. By devotion alone can I, as I really am, be known and see and entered into, Arjuna. Acting only for me, intent on me, free from attachment, hostile to no creature, Arjuna, a man of devotion comes to me.